A long, narrow country squeezed in between the South China Sea and the Laos and Cambodia borders, Vietnam is a land of striking landscapes that range from the lush rice terraces and forested mountains in the north to the picturesque valleys of the Central Highlands and the Phuoc Delta and beautiful beaches of the south. Vietnam has seen its fair share of struggles. Ruled for almost 1,000 years by various Chinese dynasties until 938 AD, Vietnam became a French protectorate in the 19th century. In this video, we explore the best places to visit in Vietnam. We've collected a list of the top places to visit in Vietnam, so make sure to include them in your list if you're a visitor. At first in the list, number 1, Ha Long Bay. Located about 130 kilometers, 80 miles east of Hanoi in northern Vietnam, Ha Long Bay is celebrated for its gorgeous emerald hue waters, thousands of spectacular limestone karsts, astonishing waterside caves, and beautiful tree-topped islands. It's a popular location for adventure. Scuba diving, kayaking, hiking, and rock climbing can all be enjoyed in and around Cat Ba National Park. For those who wish to simply relax and enjoy the views, there are numerous Ha Long Bay cruises to choose from basic to top-level luxury. The thousands of islands scattered about the bay are a real mixture, ranging from isolated landmasses home to free-roaming monkeys and antelope to bigger inhabited islands with some fantastic beaches. Number 2, Hanoi. Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, is truly chaotic, but that's all part of its charm. An interesting mix of French and Sino-Vietnamese influences, it's one of the most rapidly growing cities in Southeast Asia. Those visiting this energetic capital should be prepared. It's a hive of activity at the best of times, utter chaos at the worst. A city where crossing the road could be taking your life into your own hands with cars, motorbikes, and tuk-tuks vying for right-of-way in a city without road rules. One of the best places to experience the madness of Hanoi is at Legend's Corner. The well-located Legend Beer Restaurant is the ideal spot to sit with a drink and watch the rush hour insanity just before sunset. You'll see pedestrians, dogs, cars, tuk-tuks, and scooters all entwined in traffic, yet somehow there are very few accidents. Number 3, Hoi An. Laid back and charismatic with a charm all of its own, Hoi An is the highlight of any Vietnam itinerary. Located south of Da Nang within cycling distance of some excellent warm-water beaches along the central coast, this atmospheric old town is a feast of color, where bright and cheerful lanterns adorn each and every building. The narrow, winding lanes of the old town are lined with beautiful historic buildings, Chinese temples, and wooden-fronted shops with excellent opportunities for retail therapy. The bustling night market and lanternlit streets are also great places for shopping and people watching. Number 4, Sapa. Tracing the border with China, Sapa is a captivating remote town in the Hong Linh Son Mountains of northern Vietnam. Its elevation 1,500 meters above sea level is nothing to scoff at when you're trekking the terraced hills and slopes around this high-altitude mountain town. While there's plenty of natural beauty to tempt you to this far-reached corner of the country, much of Sapa's appeal lies in its raw and authentic culture. Days are spent trekking through rice paddies, rural villages untouched by tourism, and the clouds of Phan Xipang, Vietnam's highest peak. Scenery aside, the highlight is hands down the opportunity to chat with these fascinating people along the way. Local kids will tag along and try to sell you some of their handmade jewelry or simply try to improve their English by speaking to you. Number 5, Nha Trang. Nha Trang is the most famous seaside resort in Vietnam, with a laid-back atmosphere and exceptional scuba diving. While it's certainly not on the same scale as many of Asia's other beautiful beaches, Nha Trang offers warm water and some picturesque offshore islets. The promenade that encircles the beachfront is always a hive of activity, filled with parks and sculptures that make a stroll here interesting. As with most beach resorts, most of the activity gets going when the sun goes down, and Nha Trang is no different. You'll find a host of vibey bars and restaurants near the beachfront. There's much more to Nha Trang than sunbathing and strolls, though. Go for a soak in the Thap Ba mud bath or take a ride on the longest cross-sea cable car in the world. Number 6. Ho Chi Minh City. Ho Chi Minh, formerly known as Saigon, is the biggest city in all of Vietnam. It's also the old capital of the Republic of Vietnam. When Saigon fell to the north in 1975, it was renamed to HCMC, yet its former name is still used today, particularly when describing the beating heart of the city. Ho Chi Minh has a bit of everything: temples, museums, parks, and tourist shopping. Whatever your interests, you'll find something to do here. Head to the top of the Saigon Skydeck for an astonishing 360-degree view of the city, especially impressive at night when the lights twinkle on below. Number 7. Dalat. Year-round cool weather and idyllic scenery of misty valleys, lush pine trees and colorful flowers are some of the reasons that Dalat was once used by Vietnamese emperors and French colonials as a summer retreat. Today, this charming town in the south-central highlands of Vietnam is a popular destination for honeymooners, weekend getaways, and for those looking for relief from the heat. A walkable city, Dalat is a beautiful scene of French colonial architecture and villas set amid picturesque landscapes. The city is well known for its royal palaces that were owned by the last emperor of Vietnam. These lovely palaces are open for tours, as is the Hang Na Guest House, the city's most bizarre attraction. Informally called the Crazy House, this structure is a fantastical construction with caves, spider webs, and shapes of animals and mushrooms. Number 8. Bai Tu Long Bay. Situated in the northeastern part of Vietnam, it has all the pristine beauty and untouched landscapes of its more illustrious neighbor, only with greater tranquility and fewer crowds. The picturesque bay is characterized by its emerald waters, towering limestone islands, and lush vegetation. Cruising through it provides fabulous opportunities for kayaking, swimming, and visiting remote fishing villages. The bay is also home to a diverse ecosystem accommodating rare wildlife, colorful coral reefs, and hidden caves waiting for you to discover them. A tour of the area allows for a more intimate connection with nature and a chance to experience the serenity of the surroundings. Number 9. Da Nang. Nestled on the central coast of Vietnam, Da Nang is an energetic coastal city with a historic French colonial port. It is known primarily for its fantastic beaches, including the famous Mai Kea Beach, which TripAdvisor has named as one of the best beaches in Asia. However, it is also a popular starting point for exploration of the Ba Na Hills, which lie on the city's western reaches. From there, the spectacular Hai Van Pass showcases incredible views of Da Nang Bay. At last in the list, number 10, Phu Quoc. Phu Quoc is a scenic island in the Gulf of Thailand. While it officially forms part of Vietnam, it is actually closer geographically to Cambodia. Today, it's characterized by dense tropical jungle, soft sandy beaches, and undulating hills. But the island has a fascinating history, having served first as a French missionary base and then as a French colonial wartime prison, a gloomy reformatory that you can visit today. History aside, the island is most tempting for its alluring tropical nature. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite places to visit in Vietnam? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Greenable if you haven't already. Click the bell icon to stay updated on all our latest content.